Welcome back to day two's recording. You are one, two, three, fourth. You're a fourth presenter on this day. I am so excited to bring to you this topic. I think it is so important, so needed, and I feel honored to be able to have this brilliant woman in our community, in our space, and be able to work with her and help her get this message out. So I would love to introduce and bring onto the stage Tracy Sweeney, and she's going to be presenting to you today, Empower Yourself for Menopause, Your Journey to Cronehood. Yes. Let's welcome Tracy, everyone. Hi, Tracy.
Hi. It's good to be here. Thank you so much. I'm getting more than I'm giving here yesterday and today and tomorrow. So it's also good.
I love that your presentation comes right after nature, which came before with the moon, and we start off with astrology.
We're all tying it together. It's all one big story, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And all these different chapters are just so amazing. I'm like, we're honored to all be in a group together here and to provide this to the world. So, okay, before we go off onto this topic, because this is needed, this is important. We have been missing this for a long time. You know, the wisdom around menopause and stepping into your wise years and turning into the medicine woman and all that. But let's first talk about the true north. And when you heard this phrase, and if you've ever heard this phrase before, finding your true north, what does that mean to you when you first heard that?
Alignment. I think the process of aging and menopause and the way that the mind and the body changes is a great time to find out, are you aligned with what you truly believe and who you truly are? Because it's so easy to go through your 30s and your 40s and your 50s, and you're busy and you're with your parents and with your kids and with your career. And all of a sudden you're 50 years old and you say, how the hell did I get here? Because maybe you didn't check in, maybe you were 1 degree off, but 1 degree off course over like, what is it? There's a formula. If you're 1 degree off, if you're flying, right, you are 60 miles off course in a minute or something. Right. It's for me, when I was 55 or so, I realized, holy cow, how did we get here? So finding the experience of realignment and getting to the true north that's what it means for me.
I love that you brought up age too, and that like how many people on the planet can get to that 50 something and go like, whoa, what is this? And then you still have hopefully so many beautiful years on the planet, and
you're gonna live, chances are you will live 1/3 of your life postmenopausal.
Wow.
In 2025, there are going to be 1.1 billion with a B people postmenopause. Imagine if all of those people embraced their crone wisdom. We're going to save the planet. We're going to save it.
I love that you're bringing this up, because we put a lot of that pressure on children, on babies, on these light workers coming. And I even get caught up in that. I'm like, oh, these children are going to save the world. And it's like, actually, we all saving the world.
We all have a role and a responsibility. I don't know if I have time, I'll talk about it, but there's the grandmother hypothesis. And I don't want to say that you only have to be a grandmother, because you can create your own life, you can create your own family, you can create your career. When you're done with that, the grandmother hypothesis says that societies that do well because the wisdom carriers, the grandmothers, have that deep wisdom to keep the next generation coming. So killer whales actually are the only other mammal that go through menopause. So they have a life, a purpose, a responsibility after their childbearing years. Well, we all do after our career years, after our creating, our constructing whatever family we want. We have a responsibility because we have knowledge, and it's time for us to step up and share because we're pretty powerful.
Oh, I am getting fired up with this talk. Oh, I don't even know where to go with this. I'm just like really just steeping in the magic of it, and letting you shine. How like why is this so important right now? How powerful is this, and why is this coming up? Well, you know, I know I'm asking you a million questions right now, but you're stepping into this simultaneously as the world is going to have that many postmenopausal women. I mean, I think it's all connected after everything we've heard this weekend. There's connections here. Do you agree?
There's something going on.
Right.
There's an awareness, and I would love for, you know, menopause is not the end of life.
Mm-hmm.
Menopause prepares you for a time of power, of empowerment, the crone years. So we are becoming aware, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I want more women to, and men, I want more people to understand that there's a lot to come, and you have to train for it.
I love that aspect to it because you have a background in nutrition.
Yep.
And like, you know, the personal training aspect, let's say sports therapy, as a personal trainer, you're working on a physical, mental, nutritional, emotional, energetic, hormonal level.
Oh yeah, well, yeah, there's the nutrition affects hormones,
Right.
exercise affects hormones, whatever hormones we have left as they decrease. But it's the prime of life. It can be, with a little preparation.
Oh my goodness. It's been so amazing watching you. And I love when you and I speak on this is like, why wait till you're in menopause to learn this stuff? This is why I'm so glad we have such a broad range of not only an age group, but also genders. Like, why shouldn't our young men, our boy, right? And our young women, and why shouldn't everyone learn about this, especially when we're not just calling it menopause now, it's like the wisdom years. Like, why are we separating our youth from our elderly? Do you have anything to say about that? Your thoughts on that?
Ooh, not yet. Give me some time, I might. But I suppose culturally there may be, if in each phase of our lives we could understand that indigenous communities, ancient communities, highly respected their elders, so much so that the elders were put into positions of knowledge, of honor, and not just honor, but authority.
Right.
Where did you go? Where did you turn to settle a difference? You made sure that there was a crone in your group.
Right.
You wouldn't not think of that. So I suppose not being afraid of growing old, not glorifying, understanding that there's beauty in every age, rather than being 30 years old and worried that you have wrinkles. So I don't know if that answers your questions, but that's probably where I would go with that.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what you write also just off of this and these questions. I love that you brought up with the elderly and the position of authority and power, respect. I remember studying in Native American traditions, indigenous people in North America, Turtle Island, their council was made up of 3 elderly females, 3 elderly males. They were the wisdom keepers. Their entire council, every decision, it was a lot of Native American tribes were maternal, matriarchal decision, but like council itself was for the females to be in position on council, they had to have ended their bleeding years.
Yep.
And I'm like, wow, what a way to say, like, it's not a shameful thing. This was a revered, a respected level to get to.
You are valuable to your community.
Mm.
And I think a lot of women who reach a certain age feel the complaint is I feel invisible.
Mm.
I don't feel listened to. I feel I have nothing more to give.
Mm.
My doctor doesn't listen to me. Yeah, I mean, even it's can affect your quality of life if you don't feel seen and heard.
Right. I feel like nature, my behind the scenes just got really silent as you were speaking there, like all eyes on you, all ears on you. And for anyone listening to this now, what advice do you have for someone who's going through that like perimenopausal as they're heading into menopause? They're kind of in that in-between phase, really all ages, anyone hearing this now, but also women who are really in menopause right now. They're going through it like hormonally, physically, emotionally. What's a quick bit of wisdom you could give them?
Talk about it, ask questions, raise the consciousness and awareness that you are going through menopause. More than half of women in the workforce felt like they wanted to quit because they were going through menopause and they didn't feel understood. They felt pushed into the corner. It's like, let's talk about it. Let's share our stories. We have menopausal stories. Ask a crone. I'll tell you what it was like for me. So tell your stories, share your stories, ask some questions, get loud.
Get loud. Woo! You can see, oh, I'm like, anyone else burst out crying in that? I burst out crying, and I was like, oh my God, I have to keep presenting.
I didn't think I was going to get emotional. I've written about it before, but I've never spoken it aloud.
I hope everyone goes back to the replay and watches her reaction. I think I was really there for your reaction, was the best. Oh my God, this is so beautiful. How you wrote this out. I mean, I know like this should be its own piece, like this presentation. Does anyone else agree with that? Like, oh, your notes, what you were reading out loud to us really felt like a story. And the 15-year-old in you.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I appreciate good storytellers. Thank you. It's my story. And if it helps other people understand that there is so much power in achieving their crone years. There's nothing to be don't be afraid of aging. The good stuff is at the end. It's good all the way through, but if I can help any one of those 1.1 billion people understand the power that they can step into, I'm here for it.
Well, it's really like it's your time. It's the time for the crone. It's the time for elders to step back into their place, as in the wisdom keepers. And as for the work I do, I want to shine some light on this. Tracy, you're 65?
65, yep.
65. And I have 50-year-olds, 60-year-olds. I even had a discovery call with a 73-year-old woman the other day about starting her business. And I'm like, this is it. Like, it's time. No, like, you don't have to say, anyone listening to hearing this, like, no need to think that, if I missed my buck, I missed the train, I'm too old, all these young people are doing it. No, we need
you haven't missed the train. You've got 30 years to do something.
Right.
The challenge, the sad part would be if you don't do it. I have a friend who has written a guest blog post. I haven't put it up yet. She started her own business at 70.
There we go.
It's an amazing business. It's like a triple win, a triple bottom line win. It's social entrepreneurship.
Beautiful.
You know,
Sloan just said many of the great writers didn't even get published until they were in their 50s, right? Right. How many, when you hear about the people who did succeed, they've got stories behind them that said they failed all through their 20s and 30s, if they didn't even start at that point. How many people even just waited till they were 50 to come out?
Yeah.
What they're here to do. So, this is the time on planet Earth for us to, if you've got something to do and to give and to create and be and make, this is a beautiful time in a decade and the next 100 years, right? We're really going to have, I know there's all this like apocalyptic ideas, but I think the apocalyptic idea of everything's going to end is very unnatural. Like, no, the planet is still going to revolve without you on it or not.
Well, the crones were feared because they were in myth and legend, they had the power of life and death. Right. Because they knew and understood that it's all a cycle. Mm-hmm. And that was really scary in the patriarchy to have older women who said, be gone.
Right.
You're gonna die.
Yeah. And we had talked about this the other day in our group, but a great theme to bring up too is watching Walt Disney and these other story makers and creators redoing the villain's stories. Maleficent and
wouldn't it be fun to just, writers are doing it now, the backstories of Maleficent. Snow White's, the queen in Snow White, was it the queen or her stepmother? What if she was just afraid of getting old because she kept going to the mirror on the wall, and she wanted to be told that she was the fairest, and finding out that she wasn't? What if she accepted that? What if she went through her transformational journey through menopause, accepted the fact that she was going to have wrinkles and saggy stuff? I'm getting saggy skin. I don't like it, but it is what it is. And to think that what if Snow White's mother or queen stepped into her cronehood and became one of the greatest rulers of her realm, or mentored Snow White to be a powerful beauty? I don't know, whatever.
Right. I think the post aspect is so important too. Like, instead of the postmenopausal, postpartum, there's this like post energy that instantly is showered with shame. And it's like you have to dig through all of this weight of society to come out as a transformation. I'm going through that right now in my postpartum journey. And I said yes to a photo shoot recently. And I realized a lot of new moms won't have these shoots done because of the way their body looks. And I was like, you know what? I've got a belly. I've got a new body. I've got new hips. My boobs have changed now. And I went and got this photo shoot done, and it is beautiful. And I really like the way my body looks. My post baby body it's new, it's refreshing, it's powerful. Like, I think I look more empowered now than prior to this child. You know what I mean? And I'm like, we need to shine. And I love that you get photo shoots.
Oh gosh. Well, so that was really fun. I had that photo shoot. And then there are some photos in that photo shoot that were just there. It was all right, ladies, gentlemen, it was a boudoir shoot. It was so much fun. Not because they were for anybody else. It was fun for me.
Yeah.
And it was, I would do it again. And my body I'm not as cut as in that picture. It takes a lot of work and a lot of sacrifice to get your muscles to show that much. For all kinds of reasons, aesthetic, and I wanted to honor that teenager. I did that. I'm not as rigorous anymore, but you know what? I'm still fucking strong.
I'm like, don't even downplay it. You look badass and beautiful in those photos. My goodness. And I'm excited for you. I know you said you want another. Hold on, I just gotta like admit Jen in real quick. Okay. You're getting another photo shoot. Don't you want another one too?
Oh, I do. I haven't scheduled it, but
Yeah.
yes, I want another one. Because it happens fast. Enjoy your tight skin, people, because I'm 65 and a half. Things are sagging. And
Yeah.
they just are. Underneath the sag are really nice muscles. But it just is.
Right. That's the thing. Like, okay, it just is, right? It's like accepting it, not explaining it or any of that, but just being like, yeah, this is it. I've heard from a lot of women that concept too. Older women telling me like, get the nude photo shoot done. Take the pictures now. They're like at 50, at 60, at 70, they're like, oh my God, had I just like captured that body, and not to only look at that or own that or idolize that, but the idea that how many 20, 30 and 40-year-olds right now are like, I'm too this, I'm too that, I'm too big, I'm too bad, the scale, the this, the wrinkles. It's like, no, each moment is really so beautiful, and we don't really start getting tapped into who we are and our power until what? It's not 20s.
No, oh my goodness.
Oh my God.
I would say, well, for me, tapping in 50s.
Yeah, right.